Hello, my name is Lindsay. I am on my own personal journey to getting leaner, burning fat, building a bit of muscle, and I get asked quite a lot about how I'm getting the results I'm getting, what I'm doing. So I decided to make this channel so that I can take you guys along on this journey with me. Really appreciate you being here. Please do like and subscribe if you like what you hear and you want to hear more. Now, before we get into it, I thought I would just really quickly show you what I'm having, because I've just done my workout, which includes some strength training and some rebounding on my mini jump. I'll go into that a little bit more at a later date on a different video, but given this is only episode 2, there's a few things I want to focus on first. Anyway, I thought, because I'm having my little post-workout concoction, I'd tell you what I'm having. Alright, so really important. I've already talked about the importance of protein in your diet. Really important after you do any exercise to replenish your body with protein. Alright, I'll go into that a little bit more within this video, so I'm not going to talk about it too much right now. But in here I have got my Pure Nourish protein, 18 grams of protein in there. I've got my Power Boost, which is a chocolate powder, and that's really good for replenishing the muscles after a workout, because you really need to replace the stuff that you've lost. But also it helps you retain the muscle too, so that you're not going to burn the muscle. You're going to retain the muscle, which is going to speed up the burning of the fat, which is what we want. Okay, it's going to increase your metabolic rate quite significantly, actually. The Power Boost, I really love it, and it's chocolate. I mean, who doesn't love chocolate, right? So also in there I have chucked in my greens, because I know most days I'm all for whole foods. I'm all for getting your nutrients from foods, but if I can boost that at all, I will, right? And with our greens, I think it's got like 2 kgs worth of fruits and veggies in 2 scoops, which is crazy. I've only put 1 scoop in here, but it's just a wee boost, because I'm like, any extra I can get is great. And then I've put my creatine as well. Again, I'll go into creatine at a later date. I just use a supermarket brand. It doesn't have to be fancy schmancy. There's a lot of fancy schmancy ones out there that aren't actually going to benefit you at all. So that's my creatine in there, again, to help my muscles recover and retain that fluid. With the Power Boost, you can have it as a pre-workout too, because it does significantly increase your energy. That's also going to help, but for the sake of today, I've chucked it in here because I didn't even think about it before. Anyway, I'm going to go and drink this. What I will do is, not all of those products, they're not all ones that I sell, but the ones that I do, or I promote, which is the protein and the Power Boost and the greens, I will pop some links for those so that you guys can have a look and read a bit more information about them. Alright, let's get into episode 2. Alright guys, I've figured out how to fit my video into the full screen, alright? So just got to remember to look at the right place. We're learning as we go with so many things. Alright, episode 2, macros. So, disclaimer, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian. I am purely sharing my findings from what's worked for me, okay? And I'm learning along the way, and if I can help one other person, then that's good, that's worth it as far as I'm concerned. So I just want to start by saying I'm leaner than I have been in years. I'm leaner than I have been since I can remember. I'm not starving. I'm eating plenty. I've got a lot of great energy. People, even today, someone said to me, "Whoa, where are you getting your buzz from?" I'm just feeling so good. I'm eating plenty of food. The biggest game changer for me, getting my macros right. It's such a big deal, okay? Especially making sure I'm getting enough protein. So that shift, along with the support from my drops that I'm taking and a few other products, have really helped curb my cravings and just keep my blood sugar more stable, which is super important, especially for myself as a type 1 diabetic. And it's just made all the difference. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what macros are, the best macro split that's worked for me and many others for fat loss, and why specifically protein is the key to seeing great results without feeling deprived. All right, because no one wants to feel deprived. So Part one, what are macros? So let's start with the basics. Macros, short for macronutrients, are what your calories are made up of, okay? The three main things, so protein, carbs and fats, right? Protein helps us to build and preserve lean muscle, hence why it's so important. Carbs are your main energy source, so they are needed. They are not the enemy, despite what you may think. I thought that for a long time. Now learning we need some carbs and fats, which are super essential for balancing our hormones and just keeping us fuller for longer, right? So longer lasting fuel, let's call them, all right? So you can eat the same number of calories, but if the macro splits are off, then you're going to hold on to fat and lose muscle, and that's going to leave you feeling absolutely exhausted, which means anything you do is just not going to happen. So if you have restricted before or cut your calories right down and reduced what you're taking in, or really upped your exercise and kept your calories the same, but then felt exhausted and like you couldn't continue on with your new health journey, then this is for you, okay? Stay tuned. Right, part two. The best macro split for fat loss. As I said, this is what's worked for me and others, but specifically for me, okay? So the best macro split that I use is approximately 40% protein, 30% carbs, and 30% fats. Protein, I always aim for that 40, at the very least 30%. Carbs and fats can fluctuate a little bit depending on the day, depending on what I'm eating, depending on how I'm feeling and what foods I feel like, right? So it's not about eating low carb and depriving yourself of a certain food group. It's giving your body what it needs to burn fat, to build lean muscle, to preserve the muscle that you already have, and repair it faster when you do workouts and that sort of thing, and to keep your energy up high. Because if your energy isn't up, anything you do is going to feel sluggish and not good, and you're going to stop doing it eventually, right? And then yo all the way along, all right? So why is protein so important? Let me tell you why protein is the star of the show, okay? So number one, it preserves muscle. So when you're losing weight, if you're making sure that you are eating a lot of protein, eating plenty of protein, about 40% of your carbs from protein, then it's going to build your metabolism, okay? So when you preserve muscle, when you look after muscle, the more lean muscle you've got, the faster your metabolism is, all right? What that means is even if you do nothing, if you have a higher muscle ratio in your body to fat, you're going to burn more calories, right? Eat more protein. So number one, it helps preserve muscle, okay? Number two, it keeps you full and satisfied. If you're like me and you have a very big appetite, which I absolutely do, protein is the key that's going to keep you from overeating. I don't know if you've tried, but it's really hard. It's really hard to overeat on a chicken breast, right? Try and eat 500 calories of chicken, you're going to struggle. Try and eat 500 calories of chippies or chocolate, you're going to still be hungry after, and you're going to smash that 500 calories just like that. Make sense? All right, so number one, it helps preserve muscle. Number two, it keeps you full and satisfied. Number three, it takes more energy to digest. So just by eating protein is going to burn more calories than if you were eating those salty, crispy, crunchy carbs out of a packet, right? So it actually burns more calories to digest it, okay? And lastly, it helps you to recover faster, especially if you're working out, again, repairing that muscle, because it's what we need for our muscle, okay? So before I upped my protein, I was hungry, always hungry, right? I could always eat. Now I'm full, I feel strong, and the fat's starting to come off in all the right places. Sorry guys, I'm not doing very well looking at the right place. I keep looking like over that way. I'll get used to it, I promise. Okay, so part four, how to hit your macros daily and what might that look like. So I'm going to give you a little example of what it might look like, okay? So if your target is 1550 calories, just plucked it there, okay? Then that might break down to 155 grams of protein, that's your 40%, 116 grams of carbs, that's your 30%, and 52 grams of fats, All right, each meal needs to include, every single meal, breakfast, lunch and dinner, needs to include a good solid source of protein. So I don't know about you, but a lot of people will have toast or cereal for breakfast, right? There's not a lot of protein in that, even if you have a milk with your cereal. You need a more solid protein source, whether it might be Greek yogurt or cottage cheese or bacon or something lean. Get the lean stuff right. So you need a solid source of protein, meats, eggs, protein powder, and then you want to add whole carbs, okay, whole healthy carbs, so oats, fruits, and good fats like some nuts, seeds, avocado. It's about building balanced meals, not cutting things out. All right, cannot stress that enough. So to wrap it up, because I'm going to go into each of these things in a lot more detail in my future videos. I've got a lot of planning that's going to come to fruition, okay, I promise you. But in a nutshell, to wrap it up, fat loss isn't about cutting more out or eating less, it's about eating smarter. All right, I'm actually eating more calorie wise than what I was before by quite a good amount, at least 500 calories more. Yet because I've got my macros sorted and I know what I'm doing now, I'm burning fat and I'm retaining my muscle, and it's getting a lot easier, okay? So getting your macros right really does change everything. I cannot stress that enough. Pair that with the right tools, like the support I've had from the drops. So when I keep talking about the drops, and some of you guys may not know what I'm talking about. The drops are a supplement I take before breakfast, lunch and dinner, and then at night time. The nighttime ones help me sleep, they've helped me level out my hormones, and they've stopped the food noise. So when you start anything new, it's quite common to get that food noise because you're just so focused on food and that sort of thing. And so that's when you go to the pantry and you raid it and you start craving things that you wouldn't normally, all right? So when I started this health journey, they were absolutely essential to me to not overeat and to get into my kind of routine. And now I love them so much and I've felt the benefits so much that I'm just continuing on with them. So what I'll do as well, if I can figure out how, is I'll pop the link to those here. Just the information link, and it's up to you if you go ahead or not. If you do, you will see that my... in fact, no, I'll just, yeah, you should already have a code added so that you can get 15% off, okay, just by doing that through my link. And by getting the macros right, you just get the formula that works, right, without burnout. Helps you feel energized consistently so that it's so much easier to carry on. If you feel good when you're doing something, you're going to carry on doing it. If you feel tired and sluggish when you're doing something, it's only going to last so long before you give up because you physically cannot carry on doing it, okay? So, macros, baby, is what it's all about. Any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments, whether you're watching this on my YouTube or on my socials. I'll also, if you're on my YouTube, I'll chuck in the links to my social medias too. All right, guys, leaving it there. I'll be back soon with some more great information for you, okay?